Aries. Good afternoon. This read is for you, for those with their sun, moon ascending in Aries, but I also like to think these reads represent any planets you may have in Aries. For instance, if you have Venus in Aries, this could be your love read. Or if you have your Saturn in Aries, it could be a career read. So let's take a look and see how the current energies are affecting Aries. And let's talk a little bit about what's going on. We have a full moon coming up in Aries on the 13th of October. We just had a new moon in Libra on the 28th at the same time that Venus stationed visible in the night sky. And we also have Saturn recently stationing direct. So let's have a look and see how all of this has affected the energies of Aries for this period of October, beginning of the month of October. All right. Now I'd like to announce that I am hosting workshops, tarot divination workshops, where we look at astrology and tarot together. We work with both the mediums, as it were, and we take also, yes, it's going to be in a beautiful location like an Italian villa in Pasadena area. We will also have a healer, energy healer there by the name of Jill Markey, and we will be having a wonderful time healing, looking at our astrology, doing tarot card reads, teaching tarot card reads. I also give everybody an individual read as much as I can. To some degree, we managed to get everybody in. And what else can I tell you? Email me below if you would like to join us. And also, if you would like a personal read, do email me below. Contact me and I will respond to you. All right, so what do we have here at the bottom of the deck? We have the Seven of Pentacles. Let me make sure we're completely in. We are. All right, let's have a look and see what's going on for Aries at this particular time. All right, let's have a look here. All right. Well, it looks to me like the energy of Aries is having a little bit of a shifting awareness, because we get a lot of swords, so that's thinking energy. So there's an awareness of the blocking of the thoughts that cause. Aries tend to have, they tend to need a lot of interest, a lot of excitement, a lot of stimulation to keep interested in anything. And it can be romance or it can be work, but they need constant movement, the Aries energy. I have my Jupiter in Aries, so I understand that. I feel the same way about a lot of things, but it looks to me like the energy of Aries is sort of, shall we say, studying or becoming aware of the thoughts that cause restriction, because we opening up the read with the Eight of Swords, meaning that there's an awareness of thoughts that create a restriction and a binding and bounding, or a lack of freedom in the life of Aries, lack of expansive thinking. And so that's something that this period, because we have these planets in Libra and we have the sun in Libra, which is about balancing relationships, and Aries is the opposing force of Libra in the first house, which is all about identity and the self, and Aries can be a little selfish, and that's the selfish sign, but the Aries right now are going through an awakening or an awareness of the heart's truth and the blockage of the thoughts that cause the Aries to not experience heart's truth, to turn away, because now we have now when I do my reads, I have a grid. I have thought, this is the situation, the thoughts, what God wants you to think, and the outcome. This is heart space, head heart, what God wants you to know or feel. And then again, this is at the end of this line is the wild card, which represents possible outcome. So for Aries, it looks like there's this sort of turning away from giving from the heart, letting go, but then turning in, turning towards heart space, because we've got two cups. We've got the King and the Queen of Cups here, which represents the dual energies, the duality, possibly relationships. But again, because these are heart cards, and we starting off with the thoughts being what are binding to Aries, causing Aries to try to be practical about their choices without cognizance of what's in their heart. And then we get to the Six of Pentacles, where the Aries is turned away out of alignment. Now, I do energy alignment reads, head heart alignment. So the energy of Aries is turned away here from giving, being alone, figuring out, realizing that they have restricting thoughts that cause them to fear commitment, or that are binding to them, that keep them stuck. So stuck thoughts, the Aries are realizing that they need to let go of certain thoughts that are confining and that are preventing them from being in their heart space. And also they're realizing, because here is the Six of Pentacles turned out of alignment, giving, being of service, and not giving from the heart. So the Aries are coming into an awareness of letting go of the thoughts that prevent them from showing up in their heart space about anything, about everything. Now, in the divine section, I have a divine portal. So I have head divine, heart divine, and then they meet. So this is head, heart, what God wants you to feel, what God wants you to think. And then we have the middle medium where they meet. There's a cross in the center, is my divine portal. Vortex comes out with a message. So this is the Aries energy turning towards heart energy, almost to the point of obsession, because this is a new connection. So in other words, the Aries are coming into a connection to their heart space, turning whatever it is in their heart space almost into an obsession, literally at the point of wanting to come forward. So it's like a burst forward, because there's a realization that operating, they're breaking free from restricted thoughts that were a bit confining, because they might have been financially based thoughts or materialistic thoughts. And we do get the devil there representing ego. So to me, it seems like the Aries are breaking free from the thoughts that the thoughts that were binding and causing restriction for the Aries was that they were motivating most by security and finances, and thinking that was really going to be more of what they wanted, a dream come true. But they're realizing that their heart space holds the truth of their happiness. And now we get the Four of Wands and the Temperance. So it's almost like the Aries have turned away, because here they are turned out of alignment, into ego thoughts of security and status, in order to thinking that was the way towards financial freedom and financial independence. but it's become very apparent through balancing out of these fears, because that's what's becoming clear for Aries, is that these were fear-based, and so these were security-based, ego-based thinking that is now being balanced out, because now we get these two cards at the bottom that represent balancing out the two things. And what are we balancing out? We're balancing head and heart. Heart feelings with thoughts, thinking. So temperancing, look at this. We have both these cards going like this, which represents smoothing out of these fears that were causing the Aries to be motivating out of a place of financial motivation. And again, ego. But now ego is not always bad. Ego can sometimes mean security and seeking status. So the Aries are now realizing that operating directly from the heart, because now we get the Knight of Cups at the bottom coming through, is giving them this new sense of optimism and a confidence to be themselves and to communicate from a source of love, because the Knight of Cups represents coming forward, taking action towards a more optimistic approach, because now that they realize love is the route to success. And the Four of Wands is in alignment, choices, thoughts, and now we're landing in the thought section of my read. So the thoughts here, the Aries are basically progressing towards thoughts that align them in a home life that that is heart motivated, and that they are aware of the out of alignment, seeking choices that are secure or status, or representing the ego-based type choices, which are fear-based choices. Not necessarily all ego choices are fear-based choices. I can get into the conversation between ego and heart in some of my reads, because not all ego choices are bad if they're aligned with the heart. But this King of Cups is facing the devil, so he's been out of alignment, facing ego choices. Now that's something that's clearing up for the Aries energy. And they are now aligned, because the Four of Wands represents heart alignment, right? All those wands in a row, 1111 represents in alignment with the divine, operating on track, being on track. So this read seems to me to be clarifying, a read that really shows that the Aries are reaching a certain clarification and clarifying their desires and wishes, and realizing that not giving from the heart has sort of turned them out of alignment alone or isolated. Because living from these sorts of motives do not bring warmth and love into our lives. And so the Aries are waking up to wanting warmth and love into their lives, not security and money. I'm not saying that isn't an important part of our lives. Of course it is. It's just that Aries are realizing that they have sacrificed that in order to seek security, and they are now waking up that there is security in making heart-based choices. The divine will support heart-based choices. Those are in alignment. Heart-based choices align us with the divine will of our lives. So, I did have another card at the bottom. I think it was the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom, and now we have the Six of Wands. So it sort of represents a victorious new way for Aries to approach life in alignment again with these wands of passion, because Aries is a fire sign. It's passion. They like to operate that way. So whenever it's really about lining their passions with their heart's desire, rather than trying to line their passions with ego safe choices or financial materialistic choices. And that does make rapid growth and progress for the Aries in this period. So thank you, Aries. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this read.